Hi, Burke and Bowen and Henley. This is Papa Mark here. I just want to tell you how proud we are of the great job that you guys are doing and that you guys continue to improve. And of course, like everything, it's all about how do we get better. And I just want to mention how Grandma Marie and myself and your parents, your coaches, and Bryce Lampman are all trying to enable you to be the best hockey players that you could be. And they support in many, many ways. And as I was thinking, particularly Bowen or Berkeley, how can you impact your game the quickest? And I got to thinking there's 5 things I believe that you can do right now to improve your game. Uh, and I think the first thing is playing your position, and of course there's maybe the chicken and egg or controversy. What's better, being able to think and know the game and understand the game, or having the skills? And unfortunately, it does really take both. But given a choice, I think understanding your position, playing your position, regardless of whether it's winger, center, or defenseman, is probably the fastest way that you can impact and help your team and help yourself. And then the second thing is to bend your knees, get lower to the ice. We've harped on this and harped on this. You've got to get into a better hockey position and better balance on your skates. And then the third thing is to, I guess you would put your knees a little bit together, not a lot. You still spread your legs apart, knees a slight together, so you can put your lower legs or shins outwards, so you're able to grip those skate blades with the inside edges, which is going to allow you to be in a ready, set position to either skate forward or backwards quickly, powerfully, and efficiently. So you're already set. And then, of course, aggressive forechecking and back checking is always important. And I will say, on your forecheck, Burke, it's one thing, to keep the pressure on, but how you position your body with that opposing player is important as well. And I think, again, bending down to getting lower versus when kind of gliding in and keeping your body high enables your opponent to maneuver around you quickly, because you're not going to be stable on your skates. You're not going to be able to apply the pressure. And what we want you to, and not only that, but you tend to come in on the back side of them, which allows them to easily make a turn, start up ice, get the puck out, and of course that leaves you behind the ice or behind the play, which then really, if you think about it, takes you out of the play and really puts a 5-on-3 situation for your remaining teammates. So, you want to come in and come in lower and be able to put those inside edges of your skates in the ice, so you can apply more pressure and not be moved as quickly or as easily. And then at the same time come more to the front, where ideally you can pin their arms, their stick hands, and their stick against the wall, or take it out of play and make the puck available so you can pick it up. Same thing on the back check. Just have to do it hard. And if you can't be lollygagging, you got to stay up in the play. Staying up in the play means that you're close enough, you're still a passing option, you're still a threat, you're still in the game, in the play. Where if you lollygag in the back, take your time, there's better chance to back check hard all the time. And you do a pretty good job of that, Burke, most of the time. but again, just be cognizant of that. And of course, improving your accuracy in your shot. I think Bryce has been working with you on that, and both you and Bowen have really gotten your shot down, because the last number of games previously, your shots were high and wide, and you weren't hitting the net. And the key is, when you do have an opportunity to take a shot, you got to make it count. You got to be able to at least put it on the net. So the number one skill, I think, that will impact your game the most and the quickest, and it's critical that you do this, because it is the foundation. I know we've talked about it, and we're going to show some pictures of what it should be and how you really look on the ice. Sometimes I wonder if your perception is different than reality, in that you think you're doing things better than you really are. And this isn't a criticism, it's just to make you aware, so you can make these adjustments and be conscious of it. And of course, all this that I'm talking about applies to Bowen and applies to Henley as well, but I'm focusing more on you, Berkeley, at this point. So you need to get your legs and body lower to the ice. When you look at, Crosby, for example, the way his skating techniques, he's always low. And if you look at his stick, he's got a very short stick. I don't even know if it'd be a junior's length stick, but he's down low in the ice. But when you look at some of your other teammates, particularly like Connor, he's way low on the ice and moving his legs constantly. And, by getting down on you're bending on your knees, you're going to increase your skating speed, you're going to be more efficient, you're going to have more power, strength, and you're going to create all this with less effort, so you can not be tired at the end of the shift, and certainly not in the third period. It's going to increase your quickness, moving down the ice, and more importantly, help your quickness in your transitions, moving forward and backwards. Because if you're in that stance and your knees are bent, your legs outward, and your inside edges are gripping the ice, you got more blade on the ice, and that's going to give more power and speed when you do go. And I showed another video, and I think you did it as well, where you were standing up and looked at your stride, which is maybe 16 to 20 inches, and when you bend down, that doubles to almost 40-45 inches, and that directly applies to speed and power on the ice. So I'm trying to not just tell you, but show you why that's so important. So the other thing you're going to get is better quickness. You're going to be faster, stronger, and quicker transitions, because your body is lower. You're not going to be swinging out of control and out of balance, in that position. You're also going to have greater leverage against opposing players, particularly like we talked earlier on the forecheck. You need to come in with your shoulders lower, if not standing up, because again, if standing up, you're too easy, you don't have any force, you don't have any power. But by bending those knees, coming in lower, and yes, I understand you can't check people, but you can still come in a little more forceful, and also guard along the boards quick. Because the worst situation there, if you come to the front and get your body position along the boards, because that's typically where they're going to want to pass up the boards, because a lot of times they have their back turned, they can't see. By getting to their front, getting along the boards blocks that pass, and it's going to do one of two things. Number one, it's going to force them to either wrap it back around the boards, back behind the net, or skate back behind the net, or skate back out towards that slot, where if they mishandle the puck, you can pick it up and get a good shot, you know. So that's important. And then to get that leverage, again, another advantage of getting low. You're also going to have better puck protection, maintain control, better stick handling, and puck control. And I can tell you, Burke, I don't believe, Connor or Liam or some of your teammates really have a lot of confidence. And I don't think you have confidence in your puck handling ability. And, I'll show you some pictures here of kind of what you're doing and maybe how you should be positioning your stick and things like that. But just getting lower to the ice, and I think possibly cutting your stick down. I don't know if that should be another 2 inches or 3 inches, but I think your stick is too long, and that's part of your problem. That if you would cut that down to a more manageable length, you'll still have your good reach if you're skating with your knees bent, but you're going to have more control and more power. And you can talk to Bryce about that, and maybe I'm wrong, but when you have an opportunity, you ask him what he thinks. And then, of course, on face-offs, getting down, getting low is always critical, and particularly for you, Bowen, where you're playing center all the time. You not only want to get down low and get those legs spread apart like you usually do most every time, but I think you might also want to look at not keeping your top hand at the top of your stick, but actually moving that down maybe as much as a foot to really shorten the length of your stick, which is going to give you more power and more quickness and the ability to win those face-off, which you do an excellent job, Bowen, doing that. And Burke, you do too, as far as that goes. So here's some examples of the correct and incorrect skating position and balance. As you can see, you're here, in the right position. A lot of things going on. His knees are bent. Be able to see the toes, his toes. His knees are bent. His skates are pointed outwards, and the edges here and his inside edges there are gripping the ice. He's got his butt back, okay, and he has got a nice line here with his legs going up with his stick, okay. Notice his glove hand, his low hand on the stick is almost at or even below his knees. His shoulders are straight and his head is up. He's ready to go. And again, as we mentioned, by having his skates in this position, it allows him to either move forward or backwards, because they're all set to go. He's ready to, if he needs to go backwards or she needs to go backwards, he can do the heart cut or the C cut and have power and stability back, or he can start putting those edges and pushing out and out that way to move forward. Now, this is actually a picture of you, Berkeley, in the last game last weekend. And if what do we see here? I mean, we see straight up. Oh, the other thing I want to mention here is the reach of the stick. Even though he's down, he's got good reach with his stick. That's the other advantage. So it's not only going to, lengthen your stride, you're going to actually have a longer reach with your stick. Where when you look at what you're doing here, if I don't mess it, here we go. We don't have a lot of reach there. Your knees and legs are kind of together. Your feet, I don't know what they're doing. They're not level with the play. and your edges are straight up. So what that means is, if you want to, and we've seen it in the game, if you're going to turn and go that way, typically what happens, your stick comes up off the ice and you kind of slip and slide, and it's because you're not down low enough, you don't have your legs apart, and you're not getting a good inside edge grip on the ice. And if you look at where's your hand, bottom hand on the stick, it's clear up here. It should be way down here, right in the, at your knee. You know, now I'm not saying grip the stick there. I'm just saying your hand needs to be down to that point. Okay, and if you look at your shoulders, which is again typical of an inexperienced skater, the shoulders are not straight with the play. He's all dipped. So those are just things to be aware of. I'm not trying to be critical, but it is reality. This is what you look like on the ice a lot of the time. And we say get down. You may think you're getting down, but you're not. Other play, it's a little different. This is about stick handling and receiving the pass. You can see I guess it would be your forward here is along the board. He's got, 4 guys all along here that he's kind of facing. I don't know where your wing is or your other forward, but he really can't. He's looking for an outlet pass. He really can't pass here because this guy could here. Where's he at here? This guy here could turn around and accept the pass, or any one of these guys over here could get intercept the pass. And where are you at? You're headed the wrong way, basically, and I don't know. It looks to me like you're probably in a could be in a penalty situation where you're playing shorthanded. I don't just know, but you can see your stick is way up off the ice. You're skating straight up. Your hands are way into your body. I mean, I wouldn't pass to you because the odds are here you are, and if you mishandle the puck, this guy here that's closing in on you could pick up that bobbled puck and put it in the net. So this is what I'm talking about. You have got to get yourself in position so you can even receive the pass. And I think again, if you get lower, you're going to have more control of the puck. It's not going to be bouncing over your stick and all that stuff. So another thought about why I think bending down, getting in the hockey position is going to improve your game more than anything. Here's another situation. You're kind of breaking out, and a couple things here. I think you're going to be better off. You need to carry that instead of carrying this puck straight in front of you here. Notice how tight your arm is here, how high your arm is here. And you're also almost kind of in that top of the circle, maybe I would say top of circle area. So if you lose the puck, it's not going to be a good situation because your opponent's going to probably put it in the net. You need to have that stick more out, carry it out on the side, and get this arm out away from your body and push the puck up that way. And again, you got to get lower, get your hands, get everything lower. You'll find your speed and control of the puck would be much, much better. Okay, so just some thoughts